right, an Austrian teenager is taking her own parents to court. She is suing them after they posted over 500 embarrassing photos of her as a child. So could the same thing happen here in the United States to any one of us who are parents? Joining us now with more on this, David Bruno, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor and trial attorney, and Misty Maris, a trial attorney. Thank you both for talking to us. Every parent posts thousands of pictures on social media.
I do.
The only rule on Facebook, and congrats to that, but I mean, it's hard. It's a temptation that all of us fall to. The only rules on Facebook right now are that you have to be 13 in order to open an account, but there are no rules or laws that protect children that are being posted on social media, of course, as long as the pictures are appropriate. Correct. And that includes pictures of naked babies in a bathtub or a naked child potty training. Misty, should the rules change, and do you think that this girl has a case?
You know what? In Austria, maybe, because the rules in Europe are very different. If you look to France, if you look to Germany, this type of case
in France, it's a year in prison and tens of thousands of dollars fine.
Forget
if you actually post pictures of your own child on the internet, you can actually be sentenced to a year in prison in France. For all of you in France, just take note of that.
In fact, the police tell parents in France, do not post pictures of your kid because it's a crime. Forget civil liability. But here in the United States, unless you have a picture that borders on exploitation, that's inappropriate or explicit, you're not going to have a cause of action for photos that are just embarrassing, that are typical of what a parent would post on Facebook.
David?
Yeah, I agree. And it's kind of refreshing to see that these other countries have the problems with frivolous lawsuits like the United States does, okay? Because that's what this case is all about. It comes down to ownership interests. And when a parent takes a picture of their child, they are the owners of the picture. And they can do what they feel, so long as it is not child pornography. It is not the child's not engaging in sexual acts.
But could her attorneys say that some of these pictures are embarrassing? I mean, it's one thing to take pictures of your daughter's ballet recital, but there's another where somebody's sitting on the toilet and maybe going number 2. I don't want that out there.
Embarrassing? Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I think that's relevant. But it's relevant to a social debate, not a legal debate. Because this is not a cause of action that is going to win. And I hope that when judges get things like this, that they sanction attorneys and parties to pay attorney's fees and other sanctions for bringing these frivolous lawsuits.
Right. Well, here's the thing, though. When it comes to the pictures, okay, so you talk about ownership. Now, our children, we own them. We do have ownership on our children until, at least I do, until they're older, and then they're going to tell me differently. But as far as I'm concerned, they are my possessions, and I will remind them of that until they're 40.
Exactly.
But besides that, once they become adults, you no longer have that ownership right. And I get the whole thing about you owning the picture. Obviously, there are copyright laws. In other words, that if you take the picture, you are entitled to post that picture because it's your work. You can't take somebody else's picture and post it. Somebody could actually find you at fault for that. But at what age is it not okay? I understand the baby pictures. What if you're posting pictures of someone who's 16 or 18 years old and is old enough to actually speak for themselves and is an adult? These are Kelly Wright's kids, by the way.
They're adorable. Nice. But Julie, it all comes down to the cause of action in the United States is the right to privacy. So whether or not it's a child or an adult, there would still have to be a problem like we discussed before. Something inappropriate, exploitation. The only way to prevail on a claim like that in the United States is malicious intent. So if the person who says, I don't want that picture on the internet can prove that the poster had a malicious intent, then there might be a problem. But otherwise, this is not a legal issue and not the subject of a lawsuit.
All right. Thank you both. I will continue to post pictures of my